Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Habib Ali and I am an ICT tutor by profession. So welcome back to another lesson. In today's lesson we are going to be learning about how to copy a chart from one worksheet to another worksheet in Excel and how to maintain the chart link to the original data source. So we are back on our destinations 2 spreadsheets and on the mileage worksheet. Let's go ahead and look at today's question. So today's question is asking us to copy the chart on the mileage worksheet to cell C5 in the distance worksheet. Okay, so there's our mileage worksheet and there is our distance worksheet. So we have a chart on the mileage worksheet which we need to copy somehow and have it placed on the distance worksheet. That's the first part of the question. The second part is asking us to make sure to maintain the chart link to the original data source. Okay, very interesting. We'll discuss that in detail. So let's go back to our mileage worksheet, and here is our chart which we created in another lesson, and this chart was created using this data source. If you recall, the destination and the distance from basically A2 all the way to B10, if you remember. If not, please do revisit that particular lesson. Now the question is to copy this chart from here onto the distance worksheet and have it starting at cell C5, which is here. So the chart, when I place it here, it should start from cell C5 and not from A1 at the beginning. So the best way to do this is to copy and paste, and I shall tell you why in a minute. So what I'm going to do is right click in the chart area, select copy, go to my distance worksheet, click on the cell where I want to start pasting from. So in this case is cell C5, and simply click on paste, and you can see how it actually does paste this chart starting at cell C5. It maintains the same size as you can see from this chart, but the question is, why use copy and paste to copy this chart from one worksheet to another worksheet? Well, the answer is actually in the question. So if we go back to the question, the second part of the question is asking us to make sure to maintain the chart link to the original data source. So if I show you this new chart, I'm just going to click on the data series. Series are these columns here. These columns is what's representing the data source which we have used to create this copied chart, or if you like, the original chart. Now if you look in the formula bar, you will see the data range or the data source that it is using for this chart. Now if we have a look, or if we try to understand this, you can see that it's using the series or the data source. It's just another word for the data source. It's using the mileage worksheet, which is there, and it's using B2 from mileage, and then from mileage it's using A3 all the way to A10, and also from the mileage worksheet it is using B3 all the way to B10. So in other words, it's using B2 there, and then A3 all the way to A10, and then B3 all the way to B10. So you can see it is the exact data source. It is telling us here in the formula bar to be used for this new chart that I have just pasted here. Now, what it does, if we use copy and paste, it actually maintains the chart link with the original data source. Now, let's compare this with the original chart. So this is the original chart. So if I go ahead and click on the series again, you can see this is an exact match. They are identical. So this is why using copy and paste is the best method to use to maintain the link to the chart with the data source. Now, what do I mean by this link to the data source? Well, let me show you a quick example. Now, just remember the Salisbury is the biggest one. At the moment, the data is 202. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change 202, let's say, to a smaller amount or a lot smaller amount. Let's go for 43. Now, that should be the smallest in this range. You can see the original 44 was the smallest. I've made Salisbury now 43. If I press enter, the original chart should update. There we are. You can see now Salisbury is actually smaller than Leeds. So that's the original data. Now, do you think it maintained this link with the new chart which I have copied into the distance worksheet? Shall we have a look? Do you think it's done it? Okay, let's have a look together. Let's click on distance. There we are. The Salisbury has also automatically changed and updated on this new worksheet. Now, isn't that wonderful? Why would you need to do this? Well, let's say on this worksheet I want to create an exact same chart that I have got on another separate worksheet, such as this one, and I want to place it on there. And then at the same time, if the data source, which is, remember this, if I click on the chart, you can see the data source. So if the data source changes at any point on this spreadsheet, I want, or somebody would want, for the original chart to update as well as this new chart to update, to maintain the original data to be updated automatically on both charts, so everything is the same. You don't want a chart not to update, because if the data changes on a chart, you naturally want the chart to be updated. Otherwise, it wouldn't be representing the real data on this chart. Wouldn't make sense, would it? So that's the reason why we use this copy and paste method. This is the best way to go when you're duplicating our chart. If we did not use the method copy and paste and you wanted an exact copy of the chart on a separate worksheet, you would have to then create this chart from scratch by highlighting the data source again and going into insert and then creating the chart again. Now, why would you want to do that if you could just copy and paste, and by using the copy and paste also making sure you maintain the link to the data source as well? So let's go back to the question and let's see if we have answered today's questions. Copy the chart to a new worksheet or the mileage worksheet to cell C5 in the distance worksheet. We've done that. Make sure to maintain the chart link to the original data source. We do that automatically by using copy and paste. It maintains the chart link to the original data source. So we have actually answered both of these questions, and we have got a lovely duplicate chart on the distance worksheet. And this brings us to the end of today's lesson. Please do like and share and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already. Thank you, and I shall see you over in the next lesson. Until then, please take care and goodbye.